Welcome everybody. My name is Jeff Schaefer. I'm the Product Marketing Manager for the Graco Process Division. Today we're going to do a brief product line review of Graco's SoloTech peristaltic hose pump. So you can see here we have four sizes. We have a SoloTech 10, we have a SoloTech 23, we have a SoloTech 26, and we also have a SoloTech 30. Those numbers correlate to the hose size. So you can see up on top here on our table, we have a 10 millimeter hose, a 23 millimeter hose, 26 and 30 millimeter hose. There's a couple other things that I would like to point out here on the table as far as options that are available with the pump. There are some AC gearbox options here. So you can see here we have the AC gearbox options in low speed, mid speed, or high speed, which allows you to adjust the pump flow rate for your desired flow rate range. We also have something new here for the Graco SoloTech line, which we're going to talk more about later on, but this brushless DC or BLDC gearbox option is just a single gearbox option for the entire pump size. So I'll explain a little bit more on that later on. And then we also have the standard options that we have on hose pumps. We have different flow rate maximums for the different pumps. We also have different hose materials down here: natural rubber, CSM, EPDM, and nitrile. And then the final option you have when selecting your pump is we do have different barb materials here. So depending upon your fluid compatibility requirements, you can get those barbs in stainless steel, PVDF, and Hastelloy. So here we're going to review the hose materials briefly. I just want to point out this figure down here. You can see here this hose is not a typical tube, it's an actual hose. So it's a rubber reinforced hose that's very abrasion resistant. And you can see here these four different materials are actually color coded. So the natural rubber, black, CSM orange, nitrile is yellow, and EPDM is blue. Here we have some best practices as far as where to use these, but what I really want to point out here is these top two materials, natural rubber and CSM, are highlighted, and these are going to be the hose materials you want to use for the bulk of your applications. Natural rubber, primarily for non-corrosive, abrasive type materials, is going to give you the longest hose life, and CSM is going to give you the best chemical compatibility for those more aggressive chemicals. So when choosing a hose pump from the Graco SoloTech family, natural rubber and CSM should be your first choices. Nitrile and EPDM should be used if they're required for the application. Here we're going to review some of the key features of the Graco SoloTech hose pump. The first one we want to touch on here is the electric motor. This electric motor is available in AC, standard AC motor, 120, 240, or 480, single or three-phase. We also have the brushless DC option, which we're going to talk about more in a couple slides. Our pump body here is a cast aluminum pump body to reduce weight with an epoxy coating for corrosion resistance. All right. We also have a new and improved cover compared to our old EP line. This pump cover is now aluminum for durability, and we've increased the sight glass size in order to make it easier to see what's going on inside the pump. Some of the other key features with this are our fluid connections here. You can see on the SoloTech pump we've now upgraded to all flanged fluid connections, which is very important for the chemical compatibility and the chemical industry as far as connections go. We also have a newly improved roller design. So our roller is now aluminum with a roller bearing on the ID, which allows the roller to be constant compression on the hose over the life of the hose, which improves hose life and improves reliability of flow over time. We also have some improved options on the pump. So we have some leak detectors that are available. We also have some pressure transducers and some pressure control features available on the pump that were not available before. Here we're going to talk about the single roller design, which is a key feature on the Graco SoloTech pump. Other designs out there use either a dual shoe or a dual roller design. The Graco SoloTech pump you can see here as a single roller design. And what that single roller design is really designed to do is to reduce the number of compressions on the hose. So as that roller rolls around, it compresses the hose once per revolution. The other shoe designs, or the dual shoe or dual compression designs, compress the hose twice per revolution, and that single roller design extends hose life due to that lower number of compressions. The roller also, instead of sliding on the pump like the shoe does, it rolls on the hose, okay? That rolling reduces friction and reduces temperature, which also improves your hose life. The other benefit to the rolling design is that it reduces the starting torque required on the pump for lower flow rates. So we've mentioned a couple times about the brushless DC motor option, or BLDC for short. And you can see here, this brushless DC motor option has a Graco controller along with it. If you order a brushless DC pump, it is always going to ship with that Graco controller. It's required for that motor style. And there's some very unique benefits to this design. All right. So with this design, we're able to do some pressure control with either a transducer and drive that pump to a pressure, or we have some overpressurization protection built in where we can monitor motor current and stop if there's a clog in the line or a valve is closed. We also get a little bit improved efficiency on the motor for energy savings compared to a standard AC motor. And we can also give you some feedback from the pump, so we can do error reporting or storage. We can also give you some pump usage volume or some data on how much fluid is going through the pump if you need to for reporting purposes. And some other very unique features of the pump are the batch dispense output. So you can program in a batch output. The pump will monitor the number of cycles on the pump and then stop once it's reached its desired batch size. And we also have a single gearbox option that covers the entire flow rate range. So unlike the AC pumps that need 3 different gearboxes, a low speed, a mid speed, and a high speed, this single gearbox on the DC pump covers the entire range from the low flow to the high flow. So it's much easier to spec in for the end user and gives you a wider turn down ratio on the pump. So I want to thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about the Graco SoloTech pump. For more information, you can visit Graco.com for literature and manuals. We also have some training courses available on Graco University, or you can contact your local distributor or Graco account manager for a demo or more product information.